Welcome into the Rhonda Moxy show. I am very excited to start this week. I've been thinking about emotional grounding, getting more connected and doing it in the Moxy style. So welcome in. My definition of living a Moxy lifestyle is getting real, getting bold, learning more about yourself, knowing that there's more out there than just what you see black and white, that you can create from the inside, knowing that everything that's around you, you get to have whatever you want when you decide to really open up, nurture yourself. So today, we were talking a lot about, how to live this tenacious lifestyle, but we're going in deep and really starting to be able to see ourselves. And this speak to terms like what's your definition of freedom in your life, safety, creating safety, and healing, allowing your body to be, allowing your body to be calm. So I'll be sharing strategies about that. I'll be doing some meditation today, and I'm very excited about that because usually I'll do a slight meditation, but there's a point in here where I'll be speaking more into that. So I'm really, really excited. How are you doing today? What are you looking for in this week? Anything exciting happening for you? Anything at all? I'll be sharing Patrice Lynn. She's an incredible author. I'm getting to know this woman. She lives in Sacramento area, and her book is very detailed with tons of people that read her book and gave testimonials. So I got real excited about reading it. So there's a quote that I want to say here about the brain. Also, when we nurture our space and where we're at and just being able to love on someone in the room, being comfortable in a room, just being you, we get really special things that happen within that room. And one of them I'm going to share, and I have shared this before, probably about a couple months ago, but somebody wrote a poem while I was doing a presentation in front of a financial group. It was really, really cool. It's about love and heart and complete. Talk about the stars. And it's just that short of a poem. That's what she wrote. What would it be like if you could finally start seeing yourself? That when somebody asks you a question that you know the answer to it. And if you don't, it's okay. You go, okay, hey, I don't know the answer to that about myself. But let me think about that. There's some things that are intertwined right now that I can't get to that. But the more that you open yourself up, the more that you can be and allow yourself to grow. Now, I'm noticing that this is one of the hardest things to do is literally be able to ask yourself questions and be able to find the answers. Now, if you've been on this journey for a while, though, you know that you just start hearing things like answers to things that you didn't know the answers to. And so in this episode, I'm going to bring up some meditation, bring up 5 ways to take care of yourself emotionally. And I'm going to give a quote from Psychology Today. When I do my research, I'm looking for definitions of what out there is a definition of something. So when I start looking at Google and what can I get out of it, this is what I got. And Psychology Today came up. Mastering your emotions is not only your personal responsibility, but also is a positive strategy for getting through life in the best possible way you can. When you have a healthy attitude about your feelings and how to express them, you're better equipped to get through events well. Rather than feeling each time strong emotion hits that you are overwhelmed and incapable of handling the situation. I understand that one. I'm still learning how to step into things that are new to me and to not be overwhelmed, not to shut myself down. And I'm noticing that once I shut myself down, it's game over. I don't get an opportunity to really share what I feel because I don't even know what I feel yet. So I got to tell you, like last week, I have my doggy's hair on here. Last week I wore my combat pants, and I told you why I wore that. Well, this theme I want to talk about love and heart, and that's why I'm wearing this today. Do you ever do that? Do you ever get connected with your clothes or connected with things? I know, actually, I'll say something really odd. When I drive my car, I feel like when I start getting nervous about it's dark and I don't know the road, or something just happened, and it freaked me out on the road, that I notice that this car, literally, I feel connected with it. I feel like there's just like this flow. Like all of a sudden, my hands get really soft on the steering wheel. I just feel like I really got this. It's the first car that I ever really felt that. Anything like that for you? Let's get into some more stuff here. Okay, so before I came on, I always like to look at purpose and, like purpose, like what are we doing here kind of thing. So I hope that psychology today really helped you. This one, let your heart bloom. So I kind of shuffled the deck, and this is what came up on the top. In the springtime, thousands of different kinds of flowers bloom. Your heart can also bloom. You can let your heart open up to the world. Love is possible. Do not be afraid of it. Love is indispensable in life. And if in the past you have had suffering because of love, you can learn how to love again. So if your heart feels cold, I was driving last night, took a drive by myself last night. I was having one of those nights, and I put my hand to my heart, and all of a sudden, my friend who passed away, 2.5 years ago ish, I could start hearing these heart things about Rhonda, you got this. What you're feeling is true, because whatever you feel is very important. Stop sidestepping when somebody is saying, no, this is the way it's supposed to be, that you really listen to your heart and know what's right for you. And I start crying. I go, all right, Anna, I'm listening. Anybody else have those downloads from people who have passed on? I'm thinking if you're watching the show, you have some kind of holistic space in you. Because I know I'm telling you, after being on, this is a sidestep, but after being on medicine for 20 years, and maybe being off medicine going towards 9 years, maybe something like that, I've learned so much. But in those deepest, darkest times, think about this for yourself. That's when these changes started happening for me. I felt that pain. I felt that anguish of maybe wanting to shift, but realizing the pain of facing certain things. Certain things in the past that are stopping you. That's what I think about. Okay, so this is from Patrice's book, Patrice Lynn. I believe this is on Amazon. Rise to Success: The Secret Power of Your Brain to Change Your Life. There's some magical stuff in here. And those are my two books there. Writing and being an author is so vulnerable. In here, she wrote, success is truly a product of how the brain is wired, and this is a secret hardly anyone knows. Cycles of success or failure result from the brain programs. Like a computer programmer, the good news is that you operate the keyboard. You literally are the brain boss. I love how she says that. You're the brain boss, man. I love it. So, what do you want out of this week? What are you looking for? Are there some big goals that you're looking for that you're just feeling like, I need to be tenacious? I need to be wild and crazy. That's what I feel like all the time. And sometimes I have such low energy because I'm like trying to hide, ducking it, like the positive things that can happen, being bold, stepping into it, doing some things that you've never done before. That's what I'm looking for this week. So let's get into it. Let's get into the base of what this is about. How do you support yourself emotionally? This is where we're going. 5 ways to take care of yourself emotionally. Now, there's some things that I did research on. That's where I got the 5 things. And it feels great, the 5 things that I found. I want to intertwine some meditation and some focus within those 5 things. I'll bring back all together my 10 years of waitressing, talking to people, up leveling them in VIP dining. I did a lot of wine and food and pairing and blah, woo. And then, but I want to bring in my coaching aspect of doing this for 17 years now and telling you stories, getting you connected with my 3 energy revitalized pillars. Those are the things that will help you flow and bring things all together. And I'm going to do that working with the 5. So, 5 ways to take care of yourself emotionally. Know your emotions. I'll add some more stuff there. Maintain healthy boundaries. I'm going to share with you a video I did last week and really talking about being nice. So we'll talk about that. Cultivate your own well being in every level. This is where I'm going to do the meditation. This is where I'll bring whatever we brought together at this point, and I will do like a spot on meditation based on where that energy flows. Create a healthy support system. I got to tell you, this is where I got stopped. I'm like, do I have a healthy support system? What do I have? So, this is where I went in. Like, this is an advanced level question. Sometimes we don't even know if we have a healthy support system because sometimes people can pretend that they're supporting you, but in the background, they're talking and having a hard time with you. They're talking, gossipy stuff about you, sharing things about you that maybe no other people know, but they're sharing that stuff. So the support system is a real big one for me. I've even sat down with my daughter, 18-year-old daughter, and just said, "You work well with groups." And these are the things that when I was growing up that I didn't have awareness of. What do you know since you are a group dynamic person? And I believe that our youngins know a lot. Sometimes it's more pure than when we're asking somebody that's been doing this for a while. So I find her to be a great resource. And I remember when I was a kid, I knew more than what I knew. That in my family, they were like, "Oh, you don't know anything. You're just a kid." And I was like, "But I feel like I know stuff. Like I want it to be seen and heard. Like I think I know stuff." Okay, so 5. Create an emotional or psychological toolbox. I'll share with you some areas in how to build a toolbox. And this is what I do every single time I'm with somebody or I'm with a group. I really think about that toolbox, All right, let's get into it. Okay, now this is the juicy stuff. This is where we get to get in deep. Get your pen, your journal, and let's get rocking. Are you thinking about your tenacious lifestyle? Like, if this is something that's going to build your week, think about what you're asking for. Think about the answers that you want from the time you walked into where you are now, how you're feeling. Notice if you feel some empowerment. I know that reading a nice book like Patrice's that I shared, writing in my journal, having a great conversation, I know that these are all the spots, the spots for growing, the spots to be seen and heard. So let's get to it. Okay. First one that we said was know your emotions. So this is where you want to start asking yourself questions. And you may not even know what the questions you want to ask. You may not be able to hear anything, or your brain may be buzzing so much that you don't even know what to say. I know that there's been times where I have had somebody ask me a question and my brain was going so crazy, I couldn't even hear the question. I kept saying, "What? What?" And I literally could not hear it. I was so out of my body. And I connect this with my thyroid journey because there's so many times in my life before I got on medicine at 29 years old that I would just jump out of my body and my body would be so exhausted. I would just be like talking like this. but my eyes would be open. I'd look alert because I always knew how to play that game. Like I'm looking alert, but I'm not really showing emotion. Except what? What'd you say? And they can say it really loud. They can say it in my ear, and I still don't receive it. How about that? Anybody else still with that? If I'm having a really, really difficult day, I'll notice that my hearing will be a little bit different. I just can't get into it. And people say that's hard of hearing. I know that I'm going through a trauma moment. I don't know if I want to call it trauma, but a moment where I'm feeling like out of sorts. That's when that will show that's when that will show up. So getting to know yourself is where you're going to want to sit and be. I've been doing this since I've been off of medicine. I knew when I stopped taking that pill, there was a reason why I went on medicine. And for me, there were a lot of cycles. A lot of cycles I was dealing with. Do you know what helps you move forward and getting to know what your triggers are, getting to understand yourself and what you really want, like truly want. I know I've been thinking about this Honda S2000 and stick shift. And I think about that because my emotions, if I don't believe in myself, there's no way I'm going to get to something like that. And some of the things that I come up with is, what, you want material things? Why is that so important? And I go, yeah, it'd be lots of fun. Because my family loves cars. So why not? Why not play with this? But I also know I want relationships. I know that I really want to keep seeing myself. And sometimes I'll go off to the side, not even get into what I'm thinking because I get so overwhelmed. And that can happen. It can happen. I lost 5 people in my life within 2 years, and there was some magical shift that happened for me, especially my friend Anna. Can I just tell you this? When my friend Anna was passing on, she helped me discover so much about my hands, about receiving, about listening, about opening up. There's just so much that she taught me. Thank you, Anna. Boy, I just really appreciate her and bringing her into this podcast today. Thank you, Anna. Okay, so next one. This one I find is very difficult because sometimes if you don't know yourself, some things can happen. Maintain healthy boundaries. So if you're maintaining healthy boundaries, what does that mean? I know for people in my family is about going and kicking some butt. If somebody is like in your space, like, hey, don't be in my space, that kind of thing. But the healthier way is to think about the energy that you're bringing on that's around you. So when you're walking in a room, if you all of a sudden start feeling something, what is it that you're feeling? What is it that feels, and where's that feeling happening? I feel it a lot in my chest. People feel it in different parts of their body. A good way to start getting to know your boundaries and what you want to say to people and not be combative. And I did a video last week and I called it Stop Being Nice the Old School Way. And I know when I was uploading it to TikTok, it wouldn't take it. It took like 4 tries before it went up. And the banner that I put on there, it actually basically tore the banner off. It just scribbled it. You could see that I put a title on it, but I'm wondering if it's like Stop Being Nice. I wonder if there's something going on with that. When we think about this in this world, there's so many people dealing with really negative energy, and they may not even know it. They may not even know it. They just might be believing that they are just angry at you for something and consistently being angry. And there's like pushing themselves on you. And if you don't really know how to maintain healthy boundaries, you're going to think, oh my God, that's my fault. Like, because they're going to pick those things that you already know that you're struggling with. And then you're going to believe that actually really is your fault. But what if you learned about your boundaries is that you take on your stuff and everybody around you, they can't blame you. It's a great conversation to have about maybe the way you're showing up, but how they feel. They can't say, you make me feel. Because when they do that, they're allowing their outside affect them. And when you start doing that, that means you're going to be in the blaming stage all the time. I can't go over here because so and so does this. I won't hang out with that group because that's what they do. But when you start recognizing that you're taking these things upon themselves, what if you like a group a lot, but you just won't hang out with them because that one person? But what if you stop blaming that one person for how they're affecting you? Learn how to put a shield to really balance and be able to speak directly to that person, maybe just saying, hey, that doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel good when you do this. And I'm trying to work through that, but this is really difficult. And so I was thinking about not hanging out with the group because I, like you, it's a struggle because these are things you do that really affect me. And having those types of communication, saying that it affects me, but then you say, and another part of it, you're saying, this affects me, and I'm learning how to handle that because I'm getting triggers from that. And sometimes you'll get people, I've had people say, well, that's your issue. This is what I'm doing. And they'll just walk away. And it's like, okay, well, that person is on a different trajectory in life. Maybe that's not their thing, is to learn how to be very truthful in what their journey is. Like really understand, get in alignment with what that means for them. So cultivating, maintaining healthy boundaries, very important. Next one, number 3, cultivate your own well-being in every level. Okay, so this is where we want to see things. When I think of like every level, I think of the level as that, how can I grab, and I was a past auditor. I did auditing for 5 years. My background is accounting, CPA stuff. So for 10 years, I learned a lot about finance and maneuvering around things and seeing things not just directly, but also coming from the backside, the side. And I think of it as a workout too. You know, when you're working out, you're trying to get different parts of the body. We want to check in right here and see how we feel emotionally and physically. And hopefully, with some of these steps, it's really helped open up some space for you. So, if you have the 3 energy revitalized pillars, mindset, food, movement, it helps get the overall base of everything. And I know when I first started in this industry, coaching industry, personal training, group exercise, when I was 19, I started doing that. And I've been in the health industry for 25 years. When I start looking at all that, then how do we use this space to up level in another area where we feel higher frequency, higher energy? So take a breath in and exhale when you're ready. Roll your shoulders back. Put a smile on your face. Feel that smile in on your heart. In through the vertebrae. Feel the spine. Close your eyes if you want. Exhale. I'm going to yawn like I could feel this whole big body release. Adventure in and opening yourself up. Open your space, your energy. Welcome in the Moxy lifestyle. Bring in that energy. Now, when you exhale, release anything that's ready to let go. Let it go, let it go. Inhale when you're ready. Now, as you open yourself to this journey, you want to be aware of your sensories. How do your ears feel? Thanking your ears for helping you listen and hear people, yourself. The nose, thank you, nose, for taking care of my body, for having filter for the air that I'm breathing in, for allowing me to breathe, for allowing me to breathe in and have a sense of what happens every time I want to smell food, that experience. Thank you, eyes. These are all our communication areas down into our vocals, so down into your thyroid, your voice box, and tether that on your ears, nose, eyes, and then bring it into your heart. Squeeze through the back, 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 back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Relax the arms. Open your eyes like a butterfly, speaking to the thyroid. Hypothyroidism I had for years. Keep creating that space for yourself. Just that little space is such an excellent practice. Fourth one, create a healthy support system. This is so advanced. This is like an advanced system here. There's no way that from the get-go, you know who's all in your camp, that's all in, not talking bad about you, bringing negative energy in, but they're acting like they like you. But at a certain level, sometimes you're going to be able to figure that out, that you realize, here, wait, I'm hearing this, that this person isn't for me, like that they are on a whole different trajectory, that they speak bad about others, and that they're bringing in all that negative energy. They're not supposed to be part of what I'm doing, because if they do that, then when you turn away, they're going to be talking about you. And also, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to judge on somebody using that energy to speak about others. It's a terrible feeling to actually even be speaking it, because for some reason it helps you up level for a moment. You think, oh, I know more than them. That's what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, look at them. You don't even know what's going on. You think you may know, but I'm telling you, I was talking to my husband this morning, and it's like I know him because I've been with him for 26 years, 26 plus years. But I only know what he's allowed me to know, and then also getting deeper in my journey to know how to support him, to how to support our relationship. So creating healthy support is really important. It's about listening to yourself so that you can listen and hear people's vocals, the energy, how they're sharing with you. That energy of when somebody talks to you like this, to when someone talks to you like, I love you, like that. Number 5, create an emotional psychology toolbox. I say toolbox. Okay, so I knew that when COVID started, I got this, take care of my clients, everything's going to be great. And I really thought that was going to happen. Then things really started hitting the fan, and people got really scared. So every day I was with the community, which I ended up coining at that point, Vitality Heart Community. So I kept supporting, and I was with them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for half an hour. Bam. So we could connect and really see each other eye to eye. Well, I was taking on a lot of energy, a lot of stress. And I had Jacob and Kirsten dealing with high school and what was going to happen and all those kinds of things. I didn't have the tools. I thought that I did. I thought I was managing, going for a walk, doing some meditation, and I realized I wasn't going in deep enough. That took me into a deeper perspective. But first, everything got bound up in my body where I was not sleeping. I literally was going crazy because I couldn't sleep. And if I slept, it was only for a couple minutes. And if I could sleep for half an hour, that was incredible. But my whole body was totally bound, even to my nerves on my left side, that I it was a while before I could move my hand and move my arm a certain way without it like getting stuck, because it was just like so dry from flow, so sizzled from my nerve endings, everything being bound up and pushed on, even when it got worked out and it was opened up. Right now, I don't have that happening, and that was quite a long time ago. We had the COVID shutdown. So look at your 5 things that you have here. Know your emotions, maintain healthy boundaries, cultivate your own well being on every level, create a healthy support system, create an emotional or psychological toolbox. And we filled in that. We did a meditation. We got in there and really spoke about us. What did you learn about yourself in this Rhonda Lou Moxy moment, these 30 minutes that we could spend together once a week? I hope you really enjoyed yourself. I hope you got some great nuggets. Have an incredible Monday, and let's get out there and really share so much with everybody about how we love them. Because we got to love ourselves first. Namaste. Love you. You have an insightful day. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye.